Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to Trading Wave Market Weekly Market Analysis. Right, so I'm going to be your host today, guys. We're going to be looking at how did the market perform in the past few weeks and what do we expect going forward. But before we jump into that, please take note our Black Friday special that is currently running. You can get up to like 50% of our plans. The Black Friday special, we have extended it. It will be coming to an end on Wednesday, the 30th of November. So if you visit our website, you can just go there to our pricing. If you look, if you go to our pricing there, that's where you'll get our specials. And talking about that, most of the people, they don't like to pay these monthly fees. So we have come up with this plan. Yeah, normally it's a long-term plan where you get to purchase the course for like a 2499, and it runs up to 5 years. Then you'll have to renew your membership after 5 years. But currently we are running this one here on a 50% off special, and it's not just a long-term plan. You get to just pay a once-off fee, and you're gonna have access for a life. You don't have to pay anything even after 5 years. You don't have to pay because we're converting this year from a long-term plan to a lifetime plan where it's just a once-off fee. So you might want to take advantage of that. Right, so just an announcement again, our next course, it will be starting on the 5th of December. So if you still want to be part of that course, you can still sign up on the website and can purchase our full course there. As soon as you purchase the course, you are going to have access to our pre-recorded version, so that by the time you attend to the live course, you might have had some questions that were not answered during the time you're watching the recording, and then that's when you get to interact with us, especially with Victor. And then also one of our technical analysts, where you spend like 10 days on that course. Right, so you can visit us on our YouTube page. This is our YouTube Trading Waves. So we've got a lot of content that we share there. And if you go on our weekly outlook, especially the videos that we release on the weekly outlook, that's where you will find our contact details. You will see that below those videos there, you should have our email address, which is info@trading-waves.com. You can contact us there regarding any of our services. Below that, we've got our WhatsApp and also on our Telegram numbers. You can contact us there. It's either you reach myself or you're gonna reach Victor on those. So we've got a Telegram channel, also our Trading View, a link if you want to follow us. And below that, we've got our website if you want to see our services. And also you can follow us as well on our social media pages, both on Twitter and also on Facebook. You can even on the home page there, you can always see our links there to YouTube. This is when you click on this here, directly take you to YouTube, and also this will take you directly on Facebook. Right, so now let's get started and let's see how did the market perform in the past few weeks and what do we expect going forward. So we use Slack just to communicate with our members. Please take note, this is just for only communication. All our services are up on that web site. And now let's have a look at this. First chart, we have been looking at pound CAD. We have been talking about these pound pairs that we are expecting after we saw this big move to the downside. We were expecting that pound CAD will eventually continue with this move to the upside. Now let's have a look. How did that perform and what is expected going forward will be seen when we start with the market analysis. So that was a forecast, and you could see that pound CAD from exactly where we forecasted, it has traded up about 1,409 pips, and we'll be still expecting that they should still make a move to the upside as long as it's still trading up below this above this swing low. But that has traded about 1,409 pips. The next one there, it has been pound US dollar. You've seen this chart here, pound US dollar. We have been looking at this here to be a 3-wave moves here. The expectation was for this one to drop lower before we see a move to the up side. Now let's have a look. How did pound US dollar trade traded. It traded lower because we were around this area here. It traded, give us the move to the downside, and now this has traded 1,000 pips to the upside, and the expectation will still be for this one here to make a move to the upside. So this is what our members have been get to see before it happened, because most of the service providers, guys, they will struggle to tell you what is going to happen on the right hand side of a chart. It's very easy to plot these labels. Once this has occurred, the biggest thing that everybody wants to see is what will happen on the right hand side of the chart. So, because that's where you make or lose money. So that's why the forecast for this one to drop and for this move to the upside, which has traded over 1,000 pips. Next one there has been AUD US dollar. Now, if you look at this one, it has played out inch perfect. We forecasted about 4 moves here. We forecasted a move up, and then around this area here for pound for AUD US dollar to drop and then move to the upside, and then from there give us this drop. And look at the magic that AUD US dollar there that we saw. We saw this move to the upside because we were around this area. We saw a move up here, and then it dropped here. Then it may give us this move to the upside here. Now the big question would be, are we getting this move to a downside? We have already traded about 200 pips a year to the downside, but then again, we have reversed. So now the big question would be whether we are trading all the way to the downside, or we're still yet to see a move to the upside before a drop. But this has traded up about 417 pips, exactly from where we forecasted that we should see this move to the upside. And that's what members have been able to do, just to trade this move to the upside. The next one here has always been a US dollar JPY. The forecast has been for this one to drop lower. We're looking at this to have completed this cycle to the upside, and it gave us this impulsively move. Then now we saw this is a correction. We wanted to see this dropping all the way down. Let's see, how did US dollar JPY play out here? As expected, US dollar JPY here, from here, this has traded lower about 1,174 pips, and going forward, we still expect this to drop. But more on that when we start with the market analysis. But you can see that this has dropped about 1,174 pips. Now let's have a look at the next one. Yeah, that would be CAD yen. The expectation was for this one to drop. This to have been an impulsively move here, 3-wave move, and the expectation was for this one to give us that move to the down side. Let's have a look. How did that play out there? You can see this has traded lower over 585 pips, so that we have just seen in a couple of weeks. Now let's have a look at the next one here. EURCAD. This has been very dragging but as a swing trader, you would have been profited on this one. Trade setup that was shared back with our members. This was back on the 5th year of September. We were looking at this to be a 3-wave move. Come back into the blue box before we see this move. Take note that we have been looking at this cycle to have been closed here, and the expectation was for this big move to the upside. Let's have a look. How did EURCAD perform after that? You'll see that we came into the blue box because the forecast was around this area that we should drop into the blue box and have this one to make a move to the upside, and it has already traded up 954 pips, and we're still expecting that this is going to make a move to the upside. Now in just a few weeks we've traded, you can add the number of pips there that we have been able to collect. Right, so out in New Zealand, we have been showing you this one here for quite some time, that why did we want to see this here dropping lower. If you can refer to our previous week, you will see that we have been calling out in New Zealand that it should eventually give us this drop. Every time when it gives us this pullback, we're looking for this one to drop. So the forecast from here was for this one to have completed this 3-wave move, and the expectation was for this one to drop lower. Now let's have a look. How did this perform out in New Zealand? As expected, this has dropped exactly inch perfect, and it has traded lower about 442 pips, and we still expect that this should continue with the move to the down side. Brent crude oil, we have been talking about this one. Remember my colleague did mention that we won't be surprised if this was to go back to the negative numbers, but then obviously you do not have to hold us on that. But we're just looking at this, that every time when this bounces higher, we look for a selling opportunity. So we're looking at this here to have been a 3-wave move, this to have completed a 3-wave corrective structure, and this to have started to drop. So when we saw these 3-wave moves here, we expected that we should see this one dropping, and indeed you'll see that Brent crude oil, it has already traded lower about 124 points, and the expectation will be for this one to continue with that drop lower. All right, so at the end of the weekly outlook, guys, please watch out for the cryptocurrencies. We will be looking at that as well. Now, you have seen this chart here for Bitcoin that we have been expecting that this was going to make a move to the upside. We represented a blue box here. We were looking at this to be a three-wave move, and we wanted to trade this up here, because somewhere around this area we knew that this was going to make a move to the upside, and then from there it was going to drop. This was a roadmap since the 20th of October. Now let's have a look here. How did Bitcoin play out after that? As expected, Bitcoin comes into the blue box here, and it has traded up about $2,811 move before it dropped lower about a $6,000 move here. And going forward, we will see when we get to the cryptocurrencies what we expect on a Bitcoin. And the last one there was Ethereum. Obviously, the two instruments are positively correlated. We've looked at this here to have completed this through corrective structure. When we said Bitcoin should drop, we expected that Ethereum as well should be giving us this big drop to the down side. Now let's have a look. How did that perform? You will see that Ethereum, it traded lower about a $528 move that we saw on Ethereum. Now the last one here is a very interesting instrument here that will give you an idea. How do we follow up on the market? We don't just give out and say this is going to drop from here, but how do we follow up? There was CADCHF. You might have seen this one here, but CADCHF back then on the 17th of October, we're looking at this one, that it should complete this triangle here, move up here. This would have been a triangle that we forecasted, and we expected this was going to make a move up, and then from there it was going to drop. That was a forecast on the 17th of October that we shared to our members. Not that alone. We've also released this video here. If you can check this video, it's freely available there. It was a CADCHF video here where we expected, or we were explaining to our member, not to our members alone, but also to the public that with what do we expect going forward. If you can go there, you will see that we have been talking about this, that we should eventually get around this area and drop. And then after we have seen this triangle to have already completed, now we plotted the blue box that we expect that now that this was going to complete this here in the blue box, and from here this is where was the area of interest that we look for the selling position. And you can see exactly the market trades up to the upside about 208 pips, gets into the blue box, of which is a high probable area, especially if it's combined with our special indicator that we use. So it gets into the blue box, doesn't disappoint, and this has traded lower now over 400 pips. So just these two moves alone, we got about 608 pips. Now we are in this bigger blue box, so the big question would be, are we getting this move to the upside, or are we still going to drop more lower? So it's forecasted, we still have to see this one here giving us a one more leg here, then from there we see a move to the up side. So basically that's how we have traded in the past few weeks. Now let's get started with the market analysis, and let's see what we expect going forward in the markets. Right, so we're going to be starting with the DXY as usual. Let's look at the DXY. So I'm not going to be covering all the pairs. I'm just going to be looking at the ones that are interesting, starting with the DXY. You've seen now, if you can go back on the video for the past 2 weeks, we have been talking about this structure here, that we want to see the DXY giving us this structure here. How we've been able to focus that this was going to drop here. Then from here, the expectation was that this was going to give us a move to the up side. Now the big question would be, are we getting that move, or we still yet to see a move to a downside? If this was to break lower here, if it breaks lower here and starts to correct, then we will be very likely that this will be ended the bigger cycle to the upside, and we might get this one to give us a move here, three-wave pullback, and then from there we see a one more leg up before the actual move. But as forecasted for now, for the past few weeks, we have been looking at that this should make a move to the upside. It has not yet confirmed that it is ready to make a move to the upside. It would be nice before you can even look for a trade or jump into this year, get an impulsively move up a year, and then from there you can start to look for this move to the upside. But like I've indicated, if it drop more lower, we'll be very likely that we might get this one to use through a pullback, even drop lower before we can get a move to the upside on a DXY. Obviously, the euro US dollar will be inversely correlated. The two instruments are negatively correlated. So if you're expecting, but you've seen that the past few weeks we have been looking at this year to have been a three-wave move to the upside. Yeah, here, move to the upside here with the running flat in the middle here, and expected that this was going to make a move here. And then from here, the expectation is this should drop. Now, the question again will be, are we getting this one to drop lower, or are we going to get this one to give us a move to the upside? Because there is still possible that we can have this one to be our wave 1 here, or wave 2 as a running flat. We get this as a 3 here, wave 4, then we get this to be our wave 5. If that's the case, that will mean we are very likely to see this one here to be an A, B, C structure, a leg up, and then a drop. But like I've said it, for now, we're liking the idea that the euro should drop from here, but then the indicator needs to confirm first before we can even look for a move to the downside. But if you get this one to give an impulsively move start to correct, then you can look for the short move to a downside on the euro. All right, so pound US dollar, you've seen this one. That we want to see this one here still making a move to the upside. Watch out for this one. Yeah, it will come at a very critical area here. We have been looking at this to have been a three-wave move to the upside, as you've seen on the chart here. This to have been our connector, and the expectation was that this should give us this last leg here, which should be equal to this one. Then from there, we will see whether we're getting a drop all the way down here, or we're just going to see this one to be reacting low in a three-wave move, and we still see a discontinuation move to the upside. But for now, the indicator is still telling us that every time we get this here, we should be making a move to the upside. But like I've said, it's coming to a critical area here. We must start to see this one reacting lower in a three-wave move, or reacting lower in an impulsively move. So let's stay tuned there on the pound US dollar. Right, so that will be US dollar chief. You've seen this one here in the past few weeks. We have been looking at this here to be a structure here, three-wave move to our downside here, through a move up. This to have came down impulsively. This is what we have been looking at. Now we want to see this here making a move to the upside. But if you look at this last leg here, yeah, very likely that we can still see one more leg lower. This could be our wave 1, our wave 2 here, this being our wave 3, wave 4, one more leg down here. Then from there we get this one to be a three-wave move down through a move up, this here being an impulsively move down, 335. Then from there we start to see this move to the upside on a US dollar chief. It break below this here, very likely that this has been our wave 4, one more leg down, coming down with some formation of a divergence. It would be nice to see this one to be making that move to the up side. Now let's have a look at the next one here. That will be our US dollar here. You've seen this one, that the expectation is this one here, that it should drop lower after completing this three-wave move up here through a move down. This should be a three-wave move down here. Now the expectation was for this one to drop, but if you look at this has came down in a three-wave move. Could it be that we are getting this one to give us one more leg to the upside? That one more leg, you need to be careful. Yeah, most of the traders, they will confuse an 11 swing with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you look at the internal waves there, yeah, they look to be in 3. So we are very likely that this could have just been a three-wave move up here, a connector here through a move up, our connector. We still see this one giving us this three-wave move, especially if it breaks above this here. And this, of course, if it gives you a swing failure pattern, then from there drop. But I would love to see that if this take this swing high here, we see this one to be a three-wave move. Then we have this as a W here, wave X, wave Y here, this being our wave X, and this one being our wave Z. And then we get an 11 swing before we can see a move to the down side. So that's what I would be expecting on our US dollar. If it drop from here, wait for this to confirm, break this swing low here, give you a three-wave pullback. Then from there you can look for a selling opportunity, and it would be nice if the DXY as well makes that move to the up side. News then US dollar will be the same as well with an US dollar chief. We with an Audi US dollar rather, we have been looking at this one to be a three-wave moves here with our connector here. This to be a three-wave move to the upside, and the expectation is for this one here to drop. But then you do not have to rush this yeah. If this gives you an impulsively move here, this is the only time I'm gonna be looking that you should look for a selling opportunity. Wait for this to drop here, get a three-wave pullback, and expect that this is going to drop lower. Obviously, with that in mind, it is nothing wrong with this here reacting a three-wave move, and then start to see this move to the upside here. But for now, I want to see this here dropping first, break these swing lows here. Then from there, we get a three-wave pullback. Then we're going to look for that bearish move to the downside. So it's going to be a matter of being patient with these US dollar pairs. US dollar CAD, we have been looking at this one to have been a three-wave move here, or a WXY corrective structure, three-wave move to our downside, our connector here. Lastly, this to have been a three-wave move to our downside here. Now the expectation is for this one here to make this move to the up side. It has just made this here. If you zoom into this, especially if you look at this on the lower time frame, looks like a leading diagonal. This to be a 3-4 wave 5 here. I know it is not clearly visible on this time frame, but we are very like that this has just started a move to the upside, and we should this see a move to the upside. Yeah, against this swing low, yeah, this could have just been a three-wave moves here. A break of this here could see US dollar CAD to be giving us that move to the up side. One thing again here that you should take note that there's nothing wrong with this being a W here, our wave X, our wave Y. We get this one to be our connector and still see this one dropping lower and then a move to the upside. But like I've indicated that this, if you look at this on the lower time frame, it appears to be an impulsively move to the or a motive wave to the up side. So three-way pullback against this swing low here, we should be seeing US dollar CAD to be giving us a move to the up side. Now, US dollar JPY, you've seen this one here that we have been expecting to see this one here dropping lower. So far, we have been looking at this to have been wave 1, 2 here, wave 3, this to have been wave 4. The expectation is to get this one to complete this 5-wave move after we've had this one to have been our wave 1 here and our wave 2. Then we should be seeing a deeper correction and this continuation move to the down side. That's what I'm going to be expecting on a US dollar JPY. But first, complete that 5-wave move here. This would be just your 1, 2, 3 here, wave 4. This to be a wave 5. Then from there, a bigger correction that you might see before we see a continuation move to the downside on a US dollar JPY. Now take note, we've got that positive correlation between the DXY and the US dollar JPY. So there's nothing wrong with this here. Complete this 5-wave move here, only to find out that it's an extended C wave here, and we start to see this impulsively move. But we're not worried about that. At most, we will be looking at this when we see a move to the upside here, whether this is going to be a 3-wave corrective structure and a drop, we will still be able to trade this here and move to the upside. And just to position ourselves, if this is going to say I'm positively correlated to the DXY, if the DXY makes a move up, I'm going to make a move to the upside. But for now, the indicator and the technical wave count, it's calling for this one that it should continue with a drop to the down side. Right, so pound yen, I would love to see this one here giving us a drop to the downside. We've had this one to have given us an impulsively move to the upside, this being a 1, 2 here, wave 3, wave 4, this being an ending diagonal as a wave 5. Now what we've got here is this to have traded down the 3-wave moves here. This is very correctively here. I would expect that we see this one giving us a 3-wave pullback here before we see a move to the upside, this being your W here, your wave X, and this to be a 3-wave move that is going to be related to this one. Then this being your wave Y. Then from there, I'm going to be expecting that we see a move to the upside on pound yen. All right, so EURJPY, I would love to see this one giving us a drop lower, as much as this is correctively here. But you will see. Let me just show you here on the 1-hourly time frame how we have been looking at these here at trading waves. Just to show you that as much as this is very correctively here, but we have been looking at this to have been our wave 1. Just this part here, especially this being a leading diagonal here, an expanding one, very uncommon on the market, but we have been looking at this to have been our wave 1, this to have been our wave 2 in our group, and the expectation will be for that this should continue with this drop lower. That's what it's going to be expecting going forward on the EURJPY. Very ugly structure there, but we are able to see what to expect going forward. Now, like I've indicated, I'm not looking at all the yen, all the instruments, just looking at the few here. What do we expect on them? Sorry about that, guys. All right, so let's move on here. I'm going to jump straight into the Euro pairs, EURAUD. The expectation for this one is that it should continue with a drop lower here. So we have been looking at this one to have ended this structure here. In a bigger picture, we have been looking at this to have ended. Now, the big question, could it be that we are starting a bigger move to the down side here? Even this being a 5-wave move, that was we have been looking at to be a 5-wave move here. This to have been a move up, 3-wave here, three wave down here, impulsively move. This being your 335. Now the expectation would be that this should start to give us this drop, which is going to be related to this move to the downside. Yeah, it is starting very correctively there, so you gotta be careful. If this is the case, yeah, but if you look at Euro New Zealand, it's already leading this year. Why am I talking about Euro New Zealand? Because those two instruments are positively correlated. And if you look at this is very corrective around this area here. I won't be surprised if this says, I'm gonna give you this structure here. This being a three-wave move up here could have ended here. Then we get this one to drop in a three-wave move, one more leg up before a drop. But for now, I want to see this one here dropping. But like I've indicated, that Euro New Zealand, on the other hand, if you look at it here, it looks like it is already paving that move to the down side. I should have showed you how we have been able to focus this from around this area here. We're looking at this was going to drop. And again, just like on a EURAUD, in terms of a structure, we have been looking at this one to have completed these three-wave moves here. These to have been a three-wave moves in terms of a structure here. This being a move, three-wave move to a downside, impulsively move. Now the expectation will be for this one to drop. So three-wave pullback that you see here, especially against this swing high, then we're going to be looking for Euro New Zealand to be giving us that move to the down side. As for EURCAD, on the other hand, we like to see this one here making a move to the upside. Yeah, three-wave pullback. Every time this gives us a three-wave pullback, we are looking for that opportunity to the upside. If you've taken note on the focus that we on what we saw from here, with the expectation for this one to make a move up, so we're just looking for this three-wave pullback, and then we're looking for this continuation move to the upside. Yeah, one can look at it this way. Yeah, we've had this here as a structure here, and then a move up here, and then it made a move to the upside. Again, here we've got this as an expanding flat corrective structure. Now the expectation is for this one that it should continue. So we could be building or some nest that we have here. But so far, I've been liking the idea that this is our wave one here, our wave two, and three here. That is our wave four, our wave five. Somebody could even look at this to have been a diagonal, and this one to have already started a different degree. This being your wave one, your wave two here, and expecting that this should continue with that move to the upside. If that's the case, that would mean this should not come back here. Even if you get this one to give this through a pullback, it should not come to these swing lows. Doing so, then will be invalidating the structure. So through a pullback against this swing low here, expect that this should be giving us that move to the up side. Right, so let's have a look at EURCHF. EURCHF, we have been looking at this one here. Back then, it was our chart of the week. We expected that this was going to drop all the way to the downside. Yeah, we were looking at this to be in the structure and expected that this was going to drop. But in the past few weeks, this has changed. Yeah, now we have been looking at this to have been an impulsively move to the upside. Yeah, this being a five-wave move. Yeah, alone, standalone, impulsively move, five-wave move up. Now we've got this one to have been a three-wave moves here. Now, this does not look like it's going to impulsively move. If you look at this here, it looked like a three-wave move to the downside, to the upside. So we are very likely that we're going to see this one here dropping for something that is going to be a W here, wave X, this to be our wave Y. So expect one more leg lower here before you can see that move to the upside on a Euro chief. Other than that, if it makes a move to the upside here, break these highs here, then that's when you can start to look for this to pull back. But very likely that we should see this one here dropping one more leg lower before we see a move to the up side. As for Euro Pound, we are expecting this one that it should drop lower here before we can see a move to the upside. Yeah, remember, if you're expecting that pound US dollar is going to be completing that three-wave move and then a drop, so that will mean pound, Euro Pound does have a room that it's going to give us this move to the upside. Yeah, so far we have been looking at this here to have been a three-wave move to the down side here. And this not a three-wave move, rather this to have been a move here, this being a leading diagonal, a move to the upside here, this being our collector. So we are very likely that we should see this one here giving us this move to our downside here, this being your wave A here, wave B, and this to be our wave C. Then from here we're going to be looking for that bullish move to the up side, but it's not clear right now, so you rather wait for this to complete first, and then once you start to see an impulsively move up, then we will be confirming that this is ready to make a move to the up side. Right, as for pound out here, we have been looking at this one to have made an impulsively move up here. Now, the big question is that this is a standalone impulsively mover here, 5-wave move to the upside that we've seen here, and this has traded down in a 3-wave moves here. So, very likely that we have this one to be our connector and still see this one giving us a 3-wave move. Then, from there, we're going to be looking for that move to the upside, that being a WXY here, this being our W here, our wave X, this to be our wave Y. Then, from there, we see that move to the upside. For now, expect that this should drop lower here in a 3-wave moves on a pound Aussie. Now let's look at pound New Zealand. The very same thing here. We've got this one to have been an impulsively move to the upside here, completing these 5-wave moves here. Now we've got this one to be a 3-wave moves here. We are moving sideways here. Very likely that this might it might even play out a simple structure right now would be for this one to make a move here and this one to give us this 3-wave move before a move to the upside. This being your W here, wave X, and this to be our wave Y. Alternatively, around this area here, we might see this one to drop lower here. Then we make a move to the upside here, and we still have this one to be the structure, and then we complete this 3-wave move to the downside. And then from there, you're gonna be expecting that big move to the upside. This being your W here, our wave X, this to be our wave Y. We just have to see what structure it is playing out here, but it's between those two alternative views that I have shared. Right, so let's have a look at pound CHF here. We saw this one here. We have been looking at this to have been a 3-wave move to the upside. This being a 3-wave move up here, and this to have been a running flat corrective structure here. Now the expectation is for this one to continue with this move to the upside. 3-wave pullback that we see against this swing low here. Expect that this should continue with the bullish move to the upside on pound CHF. Pound CAD, you've seen this one that we are looking at this here to have been a leading diagonal here. This to have been our wave A as seen on that focus that we have. This being our wave A here, our wave B, that we should be seeing this one to be continue with the move to the upside. 3-wave pullback here should be a move to the upside, but you gotta be careful. You don't want to buy this when it is around this area here, because we are very likely that we could be coming to an end on this wave C. Now the big question would be, are we dropping lower here, or are we going to continue with the move to the up side, or we are even going to drop here? This is very likely. Make a move here, then we drop this in a 3-wave move. Then from there, you see this move to the upside. But I'm not worried about this here. The thing now that you should take note that we are very likely to be coming to an end in this C wave. So you gotta be careful there, or you can use your own strategy to make those entries. Alright, so out in New Zealand, I've shown you this one here. We are looking at this one to continue to drop to the downside. But again, just be cautious on this one here. You don't want to buy at the wrong time. This has traded like almost 1,000 pips a year. If it's not 900 to 1,000 pips. So we have been looking at this to be our wave 1, our wave 2, this being our wave 3 or 4 here. Now, this is very likely that it might drop lower here, but be careful. It might be a time for the bigger correction before we see a continuation move to the down side on our New Zealand. Right, so let's have a look at AUDCAD. It is not interesting me at all here, but if you look at this here in terms of structure, watch out for this structure here. We might be having this one to be a 3-3-5 here. This to have been a 3-wave move to the upside here, 3-wave move to the downside, and this might be a 1, 2, a 3 here, 4, 5. Get this one to take this high here, and then from there we see a move that is going to be this W here, our wave X, or this, and then we get this one to be our wave Y before that move to the up side. Other than that, if it extends higher here, every time you get those through a pullback, you can look for this one to make that move, but mindful of that structure. Right, so let's have a look at New Zealand CAD. Nothing on the on this one here. We're still liking the idea. I'm sure you've seen this back in a couple of weeks that we want to see New Zealand CAD to be making a move to the upside here. We've got this one to have been an impulsively move. If you look at this here, we just want to see this one a 3-wave pullback. Then we should be seeing this one to be giving us that continuation move to the up side. There's nothing really to share there. Our chief. We are very corrective around this area here. The expectation will be for this one to make a move to the upside. I'm going to show you this one here. Why will this be very interesting that you see a move to the upside there? Yeah, this has been a move to the upside there. Yeah, we are very likely that this might be starting a bigger move to the upside. But for now, we're going to be just chasing that this should come at the equal legs. And then from there, we see how this is going to react. But just to show you why would I expect that our chief give us a big move, especially if you look at this on a daily time frame here. We've got this one here. If you zoom into this, now this is a high level view. What we expect going forward in a higher time frame. This to have been a three-wave move to the upside here, this being our W here. Now, if you look at this has came exactly at the equal legs here. Now, we are very likely that this has completed our wave X, especially if it keeps on trading above this swing low here. Now, we're going to be expecting a move that is going to be related to this one here to be our wave Y. So that's why I'm looking for this one, that it should be giving us that move to the up side. So every time if it trades lower and you're getting an entry, look for those bullish moves to the upside on AUDCHF. Obviously, NZDCHF will be positively correlated. We're looking at this one here to continue with the move to the upside. Very likely that we could even be completing this 5-wave move up before we can even see a bigger correction. This being a 1, 2, 3 here, our 4, this to be our wave 5. Then from there, we are very likely that we'll see this through a pullback and then that move to the up side. But be mindful, buying around this area here, it might just be a move. Check these swing highs here, wave 5, and then we see this bigger correction and then the continuation move to the up side. And let's have a look at CADCHF. I think I've shown you this one here, that we are in this area here. We have been looking at this one to have been a 3-wave move to the downside here. With our connector there in the middle, 3-wave move, this being your A, B, C here, our W here, and then we're looking at this one to be our wave X, and this to have been our wave Y. So be mindful, somewhere around this area here, we must start to see this one to be giving us a move to the upside. But you don't want to go just and buy this here. It will be nice. Wait for an impulsively move up, you get a correction, then from there you can look for that bullish move to the upside on the CADCHF. Right, so let's look at the commodities here, starting with gold. Gold, the past few weeks, we have been looking at this one here to complete this 3-wave corrective structure. Now, we have already came and checked these highs here. Now, the big question would be, are we going to trade lower here, or we are just seeing this one to be a pullback? We're still going to see this move here. I want to see gold here, especially against this swing high. It should be giving us this drop. But obviously, if it gives you this here, 3-wave move like this, a structure like this, and then you don't have to hesitate. Look for those buying opportunities, because that will mean it might be a start of that big move to the upside on gold. I'll show you this on the weekly time frame. Why do I say that this might be starting a move to the upside here? Let me bring back let me show you what we have been looking in terms of the forecast here. This has been the forecast that gold should be completing this structure here. We were looking at this, that gold somewhere around this area here should be a structure like this. And then from there we have get this move here. So it has came where we expected it. Now that's why I'm saying that if it gives you that 3-way pullback, you don't have to hesitate here. Look for this buying opportunity to the upside on gold. But if it trade down impulsively, and then you might have to look at that this structure here to have completed, and it's time for this drop lower. But it would be nice to get this one here, then make that move to the up side. Now let's have a look at platinum, not platinum, rather silver. Silver, obviously, really positively correlated to gold. I have been looking at this area. If you look at this is very corrective around this area. So we have been looking at this to complete this 3-wave move to the upside here. This is the 3-wave move that we have been looking at and expecting that this should drop. It has reacted exactly where we want to see it here. Now it has given us this 3-wave bouncer here. If it makes this move here, take this high, then it will be very likely that it will be invalidating the viewer that we have, and this start to make a move to the up side. But just like what we're seeing on gold here, this has made a move to the upside here and then traded lower in a 5-wave moves here, 3-wave move to the upside. So there's nothing wrong with this here, giving us this 3-wave move here. And then at the equal legs of this here, as much as we're liking to see this dropping, then it must start to give us this move to the upside here. Now, but for now, I would love to see this one dropping for at least something that is going to be related to this one here before we can even think of that bullish move to the up side. Now let's have a look at platinum. It will be the same here with the silver here. We have been looking at this one, that it should be completing this structure here to the upside. If you look at this here from these highs, we've had platinum to have dropped in a 3-wave moves here. The 3-wave move I'm referring to is this one here. Again, we've made this 3-wave move to the upside. Now the big question is, are we getting this here to drop lower, or we're gonna get this one to just react in a three-wave move and see that move to the upside, just like the alternative views we have on gold and silver. Silver and platinum, there's that 95% positive correlation. So if silver drop lower, should expect that platinum as well will drop lower, unless of course if silver says I'm giving a three-wave bounce, then very likely that platinum as well will give us a three-wave bounce, and then we get this one to be making that move to the up side. All right, so Brent crude oil, you've seen this one here. We are looking at this one, and it should continue the drop, especially after we saw these three-wave moves here. Not everybody could be able to spot this here. Everybody would be expecting that this was going to make extend low higher here, and then let's get this one to the equal legs. But then we were able to see that this was done here. We look at this to be a three-wave move, and the expectation was for this move to the downside here. And if you look into this here, as much as our waveform might not be that visible, but very likely that we have completed this five-wave moves here, this being a 1 year or wave 2, or we can get this one to be a structure like this, and then we get this to be a three-wave moves here, being a wave 2, and then this move to a downside. Whichever comes first, if it give us this correction up here, we're still going to be looking for that bearish move against this swing high on Brent crude oil. Right, so let's jump into the indices. NASDAQ, still liking the idea for this one to drop lower here. We are looking at this that it should drop lower here, unless of course if we can get this one here. But so far we have been looking at this here to be a move to a downside here. Our connected expectation was for this one to drop lower for something that is going to be related to this one here. Just another view here. Somebody could be looking at this here to have been a structure like this. Wave 1, wave 2, 3 here. This to be a wave 4 or wave 5 as a diagonal, and now very likely that this might even trade higher like this. Truth be told, it would be nice if you can see these bigger corrective structures here after this big move down. You don't want to see just such correction here. It would be nice to see something that will be look right in your eyes before you can even get this one. So I'm looking at the possibility that this might even be the flat corrective structure here. This being a three-wave move up here, three-wave move to a downside, we might get this one here to come up impulsively to the upside, or it might even come up in a three-wave move. But that, like I've said it, that's an alternative view that we have on NASDAQ. But for now, we've been looking at this here to be a three-wave move and expecting that it should drop lower against this swing high here. So one of the reasons why I say that it might get to these highs here is because if you look at Dow Jones has traded up to around this level here. So where to from here on the Dow Jones? Very likely that we have completed this three-wave move here to the downside as an expanding flat corrective structure after this drop here. Now we want to see this one here giving us a move that is going to be related to this one. Again, it depends whether you're looking at this here to have been a leading diagonal here, this being wave 1, 2, 3 here, 4, wave 5. Then we have this is a leading diagonal wave A here, this being our wave B, and we get this one to be our wave C. Another alternative view that we might have here is that this being your leading diagonal here, this being our wave A here, and we've got this to have been our wave B and the wave C terminating at the 0.618, not going as far as the equal legs, and this could be a start of a move to the upside. But again, if this is a start of a move to the upside, this already made a 5-wave move to the upside here. So this being it's a matter of whether this is part of this expanding flat corrective structure or it's just a standalone impulsively move. If it's a standalone impulsively move, we are very likely we're going to see this through a pullback, and then this is going to continue making that move to the upside. But we're going to see this here on the rest of the other indices that they are ready to make a move to the upside. 3-wave pullback here, and then we're going to be looking for a buy. But other than that, here, this is the structure that I have as my primary view here. This to have completed this, you want to see an impulsively move. You get an impulsively move and it start to correct, then you can look to trade this lower. Now let's have a look at S&P 500. Obviously, it will be almost the same as the NASDAQ because the two instruments are positively correlated. The very same thing here. We have been looking at this here to have been a 3-wave move to the downside here, this being our W. Now the big question is this wave X complete here, or we're going to see this wave X being this flat corrective structure? We can still see this one coming around this area here, have our wave X, then from there we see this 3-wave move before we see a move to the upside. That's a possibility with NASDAQ going forward. Now let's have a look at DAX here. My colleague has been showing you that this structure here on the DAX, that it is very likely to play out here. This to have been a drop lower to the downside here, a move lower, and we could be having this one to come back and take these highs here, take this high here, then from there we get a move to the downside, this being your wave A here, wave B, and we see this impulsive move done with C before we can even talk about that bullish move to the up side. UK 100, we have been looking at this one here, that it should make a move to the upside here for quite some time. I should have shown you this here on a trade to curves. We have been looking at this one to have been a three-wave move to our downside, to a move up here, three-wave move to our downside. Yeah, this to have completed our wave B, but then you won't see why they say this is a wave B here, but we are looking at this here to be an impulsively move up. But just to show you where is that wave B coming from, we have been looking at this from these lows here, that this has completed the 5-wave move to the upside here. This to have been our wave 1, our wave 2 here, our wave 3, 4 here, truncated 5th wave, completing the wave A. Now this WXY being our wave B. Now the expectation will be for this one to continue with that 5-wave move to the upside to complete that wave C. So for now, 3-wave pullback that you see here. Now if you already look at this, very likely that we've completed the 5-wave move, so it might be a time for a pullback on UK 100 before you can look for a buy. 5-wave move to the upside that I'm looking at here. So you don't want to buy here. Wait for this 3-wave pullback, deeper correction, 50% of this here. Then from there, you can look for that bullish move to the upside on UK 100. And Nikki, structurally, we have been looking at this way 1 year to have been just looking at this part here. We have been showing you why are we looking for this bigger correction. You can refer to the other videos, but I'm just gonna focus on this area here. We've got this one to have traded lower in a 3-wave moves here, 3-wave move to a downside, this being a 3-wave move here. So I'm gonna be expecting another 3-wave move here before we can see that move to the upside on Nikki. Like I've said, I'm just focusing on this last leg here, a move lower in a 3-wave move, at least to come back to around these lows here. If it can come back to around these lows here, then from there we can look for that move to the up side. And then lastly, from the indices, that would be Nifty, expecting a continuation move to the upside. Yeah, every time this drop in a 3-wave move, just look for the buying opportunities. We have been showing you how we have been able to focus this expanding flat corrective structure. Now this has traded up here. Likely that this is almost wrapping up the 5-wave move. If that's the case, expect that this might pull back yeah, but until it does that, that's the only time we can look for a buy. For all what I know for now is that this is going to continue and give us this move to the up side. Now lastly, let's just look at some cryptocurrencies here. Now let's look at Bitcoin. What do we expect going forward on Bitcoin? We've got this one to have dropped lower. You've already seen this on our trade recaps that we've had this move to the down side here on Bitcoin. Looking at this to have been wave 1 in a lower degree here. This being wave 1. Now the expectation here, because this is traded very correctively here, we are expecting that we should be seeing this one here to be a 3-wave move that will come back to around this here. Then we have this here as a flat corrective structure, wave 2. For now, if it to give you the 3-wave move, pull back lower here, expect for this one more leg up at least to come back and take this high. Then from there, we're going to be looking for that bearish move to a downside on Bitcoin. Ethereum, obviously the two instruments are positively correlated, drop lower to the downside that we saw here as an impulsively move, and then now a 3-wave move here, this will be a 3-wave move down here. So it will be nice if this can trade back to around these highs here, take off these highs here, then we're going to be looking for this bearish continuation move to the down side. These are the major swing highs here. So as long as Ethereum and Bitcoin are staying below these swing highs that we saw here on this date, then we're going to be seeing that every time it bounces up in a 3-wave move, we're going to be looking for that bearish move to the down side. As for Litecoin, last week we were expecting that this was going to drop lower from here, but what we saw is that this has taken this swing high here. So we have been looking at this to be a diagonal here, 1 2 3 4 5 wave A here, this to have been a 3 3 5 here, completing this wave B. Now we've got this to be our wave 1 and 2 here, so I'll still have to see this one here one more leg up before we can see this move to the upside, this being your ABC. Now let me draw it neatly again here, leading diagonal that we for wave A here, and this to have been a 3 a 3 here, wave 5, expanding flat corrective structure for our wave B. Now this being your 1, 2, a 3 here, it will be nice if this can give us this one more leg. The whole thing will be completing that ABC. The ABC I'm referring to here is this one here, wave A here leading diagonal, wave B here, this to be a wave C. Then from there, I'm going to be expecting to see that bearish continuation move to the down side. And then Ripple, we're looking at this in terms of a structure. I have been looking at this here to be a 3-wave move here. Very likely that we might be this move up here, 3-wave move to a downside. This being your A here, wave A here, wave B here. Then we get this one to be our wave C. Then from here, we get this one to drop lower. But technically, I'm looking at this to be a 3-wave move and then expecting that this should drop to the down side. And then just last one here, let's look at Doge. I know most of the people, they like to see Doge here. The expectation here on a Doge, we've had this one to have traded lower here in this impulsively move to the downside here. Now, I'm going to be looking at this here to be a 3-wave move up. And then from here, I'm going to be expecting that this is going to trade lower. I'm looking at this here to be a possible flat corrective structure and expecting that this should drop to the down side. All right, guys, from my side, that's all what I had to share with you. If you like our content, please give us a thumbs up on our YouTube pages, and don't forget to switch on that bell notification so that every time we release these videos, you are notified. Cheers, everybody, and have a good one. Trade safe and responsible. Bye-bye.